Hello and welcome to the latest Microsoft Masterclass. This one is going to cover a lesser known Microsoft app, Microsoft Loop. So in this video, we're going to look at what Loop is. We'll then look at the Loop app itself, and I'll show you some scenarios of how you can use it. And then we'll look at scenarios using Loop components outside of the app itself. So firstly, what is it? Well, I guess the easiest way to explain it is that everyone is familiar with kind of real-time editing files. But what about projects and ideas? They tend to be a little bit more isolated. Loop gives you a way in which a team can collaborate on a project together around planning and brainstorming and whatever else they want to do. And it's made up of three things: workspaces, pages, and components. A workspace is a collection of pages that can be shared to manage a project, generate ideas, and a lot more. Pages make up the main content within a workspace, and components are portable pieces of content that stay in sync across all the pages that have been shared. So, the easiest way to explain this is to look at how this operates in the Loop app. So, here we are in Microsoft Loop, which you can access at loop.microsoft.com. And in here, I want to create a workspace for a new project. Now, in this example, I own a fleet of mobile pizza ovens, and we use these to cater for big events. We've got a trade show coming up, and we want to use it to introduce a brand new pizza flavor. So we're going to use Workspace to collaborate as a team to ultimately come up with a really interesting pizza flavor. So we're going to call this the pizza project and create our workspace. Now, if I wanted to, I could give it keywords and it will suggest files that I should attach to this project, but we don't need to do that for this. Instead, what we are going to do is use one of the pre-built templates. So we've got a template gallery here where we can template any number of different things, but I want a template, in this example, a project brief. So we'll do that, and that will give me an overview, a template that I can use to build out. And through the magic of editing, I'm now going to fill this project brief in. So you'll now see that our project brief is being completed. We've got an overview, we've got goals, we know who our team members are, and we've spitballed various ideas around flavors. And now I want everyone within the team to vote on these so that we can pick one to take to this trade show. So I've populated it here, and if we wanted to, we can use this voting table and we can make our votes here. But the joy of Loop is that we can convert this into a component and share it out across the rest of the organization. So to do that, I just click here and I click create a Loop component. Now, by making this into a component, I can now share it via email, via Teams. I can even embed it into a Word document so that people can vote on this and it will update the results here because it's a perfectly synced component that will spread across my environment. Now let's take a look and see what that looks like in reality. And so here we now see this Loop component in an email. So I can vote here. In a Teams message. So I can vote here. And then back in the workspace itself where we can see those votes have updated. So this is the key thing around our Loop component. I can put it in multiple places and it's always synced. So whenever anyone completes it in one place, it automatically syncs with all the other locations that this lives. And this is really useful. One of the key things that you can utilize this for outside of this Loop app and Workspaces itself is within meetings. And so here I am at the new meeting screen in Teams, something that I'm sure we're all familiar with. So as well as obviously being able to put in the various details of the meeting, a lesser known button is this add an agenda button. So I can click this agenda button and it will give me a pre-populated set of topics for an agenda. And I can now start populating this before I send this meeting invite off to my colleagues. But this is a Loop component. So when I send it, everyone who gets a meeting invite will get access to this component and can now update it. So that when the meeting turns around, anything else that gets added to the agenda, either by myself or by one of my colleagues who decides that they need to put this action item on here, they can put it straight into this component. Not only that, this agenda has a section for meeting notes, so someone can make meeting notes. in the meeting, and it will update for everybody. And we can create a set of follow-up tasks. Now, this follow-up task is clever because it's linked to people's projects, so people's planner application, so that if any task that gets added here, whoever it gets assigned to, it will appear on their to-do list, it will appear within their planner. And this will get shared around automatically when people get the meeting invite. But also, if I want to, I can copy this component, and then I could paste this into an email or do whatever I like with it. So I can send it off and make sure that people get it. And there we have it, a short but hopefully useful introduction into the world of Microsoft Loop. Please like and subscribe this video, and please leave comments to tell me how you're using Loop at the moment, or any questions you might have around the solution. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you for another masterclass soon. Bye bye.